there was a stat last week that I talked about on our show where there's 83 players on the roster that could make their debut this year, and there's like 107 players on the roster. So 83 players are potentially playing their first snap for the Govs. And that's been a thing that they've gotten some national recognition for how well they've attacked the transfer portal. So if you look at the 247 Sports ratings, transfer portal ratings, Austin Peay has like the first or second best transfer portal class among all FCS teams. So obviously that helps. I mean, you have, like I said, Chris Parson, our quarterback. He played at Mississippi State and played in a few games. And then Javius Bond, our kick returner and cornerback, played at East Carolina. Our offensive line is extremely experienced. That's probably the biggest thing I would say. I mean, Chris Parson, no offense to Austin Smith, who he was our quarterback last year and he's still here. No offense to him, but Chris Parson coming in, you can just tell this is a guy who's a different level. He was making the throws. He was throwing the ball down the field. We were burning Middle Tennessee secondary. So having a real quarterback who's been there before and then completely remaking the offensive line. So there's only one starter that is the same from last year, and that is the all-conference center, Chandler Curtin. Other than that, the starting offensive line is completely different. So, and then the wide receivers are completely different as well. There's 3 new starting wide receivers this year, and all 3 of them had good games against Middle. So, like, all the transfers like made an immediate impact.
That's pretty impressive because, you see this a lot of teams trying to revamp through the portal and stuff, and we've seen a lot of times, especially during this week 1, where a team full of transfers didn't really mesh that well and kind of struggled out of the gate. There's a little bit of rustiness. What really helped this team pull together and really just swim all in the right direction so quickly?
Yeah, so it's kind of a cliche answer, but one, I would say the belief that they have a great culture. Jeff Ferris, it's his second year. He's a young head coach, but he's been around some great coaches. So he was at UCLA under Chip Kelly. He was his tight ends coach. He was at Duke for a decade. So he knows the importance of a culture, and he knows, it's not just about, you don't play the game on paper. So they've really cultivated a family atmosphere. And I know, a lot of people say that, like, we have a great culture, but they really do. Like, all summer, they were out in the community doing things. They were out doing stuff together as a team, they do team dinner every week where they all get to the coach's house and have dinner together. It's just a family atmosphere, and I think that helped kind of help them mesh quicker. And also, a lot of our guys have an underdog, like a chip on their shoulder, because, like I said, a lot of them dropped down from FBS. So they came down to this level, and they feel like they have something to prove, and they're hungry. So I think that's ultimately the difference.